Want to grow your business and take it to the next level? Well, here we all are, and we're going to show you how through hard work, perseverance, and a little help and know-how, you can take things to the next level and push the success of your business even further. Let's get going.
Welcome everyone, Paul Wright here, and welcome to the next episode of the Practiceology Podcast, the science of teaching you how to run a successful and profitable allied health business that works without you. And I've got my great friend Rafael Salazar join us today. Rafael, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
I hit up Rafi for a couple of things over the years. He's done interviews for me and other things, so he's kindly jumped on the Practiceology Podcast. A quick introduction of Rafi. He's the principal owner of Rehab U Practice Solutions and host of the Better Outcomes show. He has experience in a variety of rehab settings, from orthopedics and musculoskeletal rehab to academia and healthcare consulting. He spent the majority of his clinical experience working at Charlie Norwood VA Medical Center, where he led he was the lead clinician, and a clinical education coordinator for the outpatient specialty rehab department. He's worked on projects ranging from patient engagement initiatives to marketing and communication campaigns. His work on telehealth, which is hot at the moment, has been discussed in Forbes, and his passion is to help healthcare clinics and organizations deliver uniquely impactful patient experiences by improving service delivery, which is a great topic for us today. Now, Rafi knows the 7-minute format. He's on the edge of his seat. You right to go, champion?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, whenever you are.
All right, we're away. Rafi, who is your ideal client?
My ideal client is any practice owner or organization that is involved in, we call them prolonged or plans of care. So PT, OT, speech sometimes, chiropractors, but anything where the patient is coming to the clinic over a period of time. So a plan of care you would for twice a week for 6 weeks or however long that is, instead of more of like those one-offs don't really fit in that, like an orthopedic surgeon where they're seeing you one time for the pre-op, one time for the surgery, and then one time for the post-op.
And this is global too. This is around the world.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
Everyone's got the problem, haven't they?
In Australia and the US and UK, so all over the place.
All right, question 2. So what's the problem that you actually solve for them, Rafi?
So most of the clients that we work with have, they think is a lead generation or a front end referral problem. In reality, when they dig into the numbers, they have a patient retention problem. So patient dropout, patients ghosting you or no showing or frequent cancellations, falling off their plans of care, and you never hear from them again. That's the problem we solve.
So question 3, with 5 minutes and 47 seconds left. Don't you love the format?
Boom, boom.
See the pressure. This is pressure. So question 3, what are the typical symptoms people experience with the patient dropout problem? What do they go through?
Probably the number one symptom is that of, we call them holes in the schedule or low census, however you plan to call it. But basically there isn't enough work to go around. And that leads people to think, well, maybe there's a lead gen problem. I just need to get more patients in the door. And sometimes it's true, but more often than not, the following 2 symptoms are high cancellation rate or a high no-show rate. So the three symptoms combined would be not enough work, high cancellation rate, high no-show rate, and that equals kind of the key metric, which is a low plan of care completion metric.
You said it clearly that the first reaction is to go and get more clients, but that's kind of the knee jerk, isn't it, to solve
well,
it?
And most of us are entrepreneurs, right? So it's like, oh, if there's not enough money coming in, I just need to go get more, right? But you spend a whole lot more resources, time, and energy getting new patients than it is on maximizing those that are already in your clinic, already have said yes to you and your solution.
So question 4, what are the common mistakes people make when trying to solve that problem? I assume one of them is what we just said, going after new clients.
They sink a whole bunch of money into front end lead generation or business development instead of maximizing the low hanging fruit, which is those people that are already in your clinic, are already showing up every day, have already given you their credit card or their cash, whatever it is, and said, I think you might be able to solve my problem.
So question 5, with 4 minutes left. So what's a valuable free action, Rafi? What can Practiceology listeners and viewers do to solve this problem on their own? How can they address it?
Sure. The biggest piece of advice I give everybody is you need to make your organization patient-centric, and not just in name alone, like, oh, we're patient-centered care, but you need to make everything, the first phone call, how you collect information, the way you communicate, the way you respond and remind patients of their upcoming appointments, all needs to be patient-centric. And that sometimes means individualizing those pieces of communication for specific patients and specific patient populations.
Why don't we do that? We all say we do, Rafa. We all say we're patient-centric, but we're not.
Yes. So when you think about it, I always use the first call as kind of like the benchmark. So most of the times, what happens when someone calls your clinic? Do you offer physical therapy? Do you offer physiotherapy? My back hurts. Most of the time, people dive into, okay, well, let's get your date of birth. Let's get your information. Let's get your insurance. If it's insurance, how are you going to pay for this? Yada, yada, yada. And once we've gotten all our information, well, then tell me about what's going on. And, okay, yeah, we can probably fix that. That might be your low back and this is that and the other. What we need to do is flip it on its head, right? So when the patient calls and says, I have low back pain, do you offer physiotherapy? We need to be diving right into, well, tell me a little bit about what's going on. How's that affecting your life? What kind of negative impacts? Is there anything you can't do because of that? How is that affecting your work, your family, what you want to do? And then after we've gotten their story, the patient's story, then we can say, okay, we certainly can help. Let's get the information that we need in order to get you on the books. And that would be your insurance, your cash payment, however you're going to do it, the demographics you need to put them in the system. But all of that only comes after you handle the first piece, which is the patient story and how their issue is affecting their specific lives instead of just general back pain, right?
Love it. You got to make it about them, not about you. It's
Exactly.
a classic, isn't it? Question 6 with 2 minutes left, Rafi. So what's a valuable free resource? Where can people go to get help with this? What have you got for them?
Sure. So you can go to rehabupracticesolutions.com. That's rehab, the letter U, practicesolutions.com. And basically on any page you go to on that site, there is a little box at the top, and it allows you to sign up to get the 5 keys to creating the ultimate patient experience. We send it right to your inbox, and it's basically a report with the 5 steps and the 5 processes that you need to implement at your organization that'll help up that patient engagement, keep people engaged before they even show up to your clinic, and showing up to their appointments when you get them on the schedule.
Brilliant. And what's the URL again, Rafi? Where do they go?
It is rehabupracticesolutions.com.
Brilliant. That's the letter U, Rehab U.
That's the letter U, yep.
Rafi, with a minute left, you're under pressure. What's the one question I should have asked you today that I didn't ask?
Well, maybe you could have asked about the Ultimate Patient Experience Blueprint, which is the program that we've developed to help organizations both create a strategy for what I call attracting, acquiring, engaging, and retaining more patients. And you can find out more about that at rehabupracticesolutions.com/UPE for Ultimate Patient Experience.
I love it. I love I love the session we did on Profit Club a while ago. I love the information you're giving out because it's so important. We get caught up in the technical aspects of our business and we forget about the human aspect. And
yes, exactly.
I love that flipping it. Make it about them, not about you. What was the URL again, Rafi? Where do they go for both of those resources?
Sure. For the 5 keys to the ultimate patient experience, they can get that at rehabupracticesolutions.com, just the homepage, and sign up there at the top. For the ultimate patient experience blueprint, they can go to rehabupracticesolutions.com/UPE.
Brilliant. You're our champion. Thanks for joining us on the program, Rafi.
All righty. Thanks for having me.
Now, if you haven't checked out our monthly Practiceology webinar and find out how we do this at Practiceology, go to mypracticeology.com. See you soon.